Alright guys, so I want to show you all a few things. Some of the things I look for when I'm doing external inspections, I always look at the front of the hive. So things that I'm looking for at the front of the hive are a few things. First, I want to see if I can see scratch marks or anything like that. That would indicate that there might be a skunk or some kind of external activity of bees being bothered, because those hives, they tend to be a little bit more spicy. And the first thing is obviously is there bees coming in and out. You can look and see if there's bees coming in and out of the hives, and I can see bees coming in and out of most of my hives, so you know that's a good sign. Another thing that I'm looking for is brown streaking or dysentery or Nosema apis. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm also looking for pollen going in to see if there's pollen going in. So I can see some pollen coming in here. I just seen a bee go in there with pollen. So that means that there is pollen sources going on out here. I'm also looking for indications of robbing to see if there's bees hovering around out here that don't belong, see if they're robbing the colony, see if we need to do anything. So what are we out here doing today? The bees in this colony appear to be taking a lot of the pollen into the upper entrances. I got holes drilled here and they appear to be using that. And what I'm seeing down here on the ground, I'm seeing pollen pellets knocked off down here. Now that could be a sign that this hole is not large enough for them to get through one at a time. They might be knocking some pollen off by accident, or that might be contaminated pollen. It might be pollen that has pesticides or herbicides or undesirable quality to it. It might be old pollen. It appears to be new pollen, but they don't appear to want to take that pollen in. And this is the only hive that I see pollen in front of, so I'm thinking it might be an indication of them trying to use this hole here. Let's see if you can see them going in. They can only go in and out one at a time, and they might be brushing against each other, knocking some pollen granules off down there. They might be throwing it out, I don't know. But today I'm adding hard sugar back because, get that guy out there. I'm adding some hard sugar back, that way they got something to eat. They got plenty of stores here. And I'm also starting to see them build wax in the feeding shim. That's going to be some of the first wax that you're going to start seeing them build is up in the feeding shims, because they like to build wax wherever they can put it. It's an empty space, so bees do what bees do. So let's get on through this yard and see who else needs some sugar added. And it's a nice day today. I'm in Keystone, West Virginia, McDowell County, and it's about 70 degrees out here right now. So let's see if I can get an exact. It's 69 degrees out here. That's what my watch says, and that may change as it gets a little bit hotter. Look at them trying to get in there. Get out of there. All right then, we're gonna move on about it. We're not gonna get it sitting on the couch. So I'll show you guys this. This is the next colony over. The bees are up here working this honey. When I have this much sugar up here, I'm not going to add sugar to this colony. They're working. You can see those honey cells down there. They have honey. They're taking this sugar and working it too. So let's move on about the yard. Now I want to show you guys this really quick. These bees, they're taking in pollen. And I don't have any pollen substitute out right now at this location. They're taking in all that I'm going to put out here. So they're pulling in some kind of other source of pollen. And we've got little flowers buttered out. We have spring beauty, and I imagine there's some maple pollen coming in, that sort of thing. So they're definitely bringing stuff in. So that's one thing to look out for is you have pollen coming in. So this is an example of a really strong colony. They don't have any sugar stores left up here. They've got plenty of honey though, but I'm going to give them some hard sugar to push them on through, just because it's very often that beekeepers lose bees in March and April, because the bees, they get big population going when they start to get that boost, and they don't have any source of sugar or nectar to move to, and they wind up starving to death. So we're going to keep on putting the sugar on until we're ready to split bees, maybe the end of April, middle of April, just depending on the weather where you are. It's all very regional beekeeping, so what I do here might not work for you where you are. So these guys, or gals I should say, are going to get some. So these gals are going to get some sugar for sure. Let's push them down a bit. Now, they have honey stores. All right, we got them sugared back up, and we'll check back in on them in a week or 3, depending on how it goes. Let's keep on moving. So I want to show you guys this. We got drones in here. There is definitely some drone bees in this hive. See that larger bee right there? That is a drone. That's a drone right there in the middle of the screen. Most of those are drones at the bottom. So we have drones, which means that these bees could potentially make queen cells. This isn't the time of year that you really want them to be making queen cells, but it is a possibility. So we're going to peek on through this hive to see what was going on. This is one of my larger colonies. I'm going to see if I can spot some brood action. I see brood on the next frame, so we'll see if we can figure out what's going on here. So this colony definitely has a queen. I seen her just a second ago. She's right there. But the pattern doesn't look great. It looks like that she may be out of material, and that's why there's a lot of drones. It might be an older queen, so I don't know exactly what's going on. We're going to dive in some more and see if we can find out what else is going on in this colony. Alright guys, so we made it through the home yard. Bees are looking pretty good, the ones that are still here. This one here developed a laying worker late in the year. I found a cluster that had some cells that had brood, older brood, and then there were multiple eggs in the cells. So this one developed a laying worker late in the year. I'm not sure at what point. It was after it was closed up. Very small brood cluster. And then these two are a mystery. I'm not sure why. They had plenty of food. It could have been a mite issue, human error on my part. It's hard to say. We did mite treatments, but they were a little bit late on some of my formant treatments, so that could have been an issue. If that were really the case though, it would have reflected throughout the yard, which it doesn't. So there was no bees in the hives whatsoever, no dead ones in the bottom, no clustered bees frozen to the frames. It's just not sure. There's plenty of honey in the boxes. I have more boxes than what most beekeepers keep on their hives, but they put it up, so I let them keep it. So I'll have honey to spread around. This small one, it had a very small cluster of bees that were frozen in the frames, and it was you can see the size of the cluster. So I'm thinking that this one didn't have enough bees to actually make it through. So because that was the size of the cluster, it was about baseball size, if that, almost golf ball size. So I know what happened there. The other two there are a mystery. And I got one hive that has drones. I inspected the hive to see what was going on, and the only larva that I found in there was drone larva. I also found a queen in there. It's a mystery. I added a new queen to this hive, so I know it wasn't an older queen. I added a new queen on May the 19th of last year, according to my notes. So I might have to add another queen to fix this hive. We definitely found a queen though. I found a drone, so There's a possibility of swarm cells if you see drones. I don't know if that's reflects all of the hives making drones, or it's just the old queen running out of genetic material and that's all she could lay was drones. That's a mystery. So beekeeping is a ever learning process, but you're not going to get it sitting on a couch. I didn't do any time lapse because I'm getting trying to get through the yard today. Let's get on about it.